Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. We are starting our Unicorn Cup, the final event of the season. You are at Unicorn.Events, the world's largest startup pitch contest. And I'm saying good morning to everyone who is already with us. We will be having 2 sessions. Startup will pitch twice, so everyone in the world will see it. I am very glad to welcome you all at the Unicorn Cup World Finals. I already see lots of people joining us. More will be connecting as our grand happening will go on. But before we start, let's see the video that will tell about us in a nutshell. Video, please. We are broadcasting live to the whole world. My name is Anna Fedorova, and I'm CEO of this wonderful Unicorn.Events, truly extraordinary, the world's largest startup pitch contest by geography and the number of the events held already. Welcome to the Unicorn Cup, where a world of investors meets extraordinary startups. And we are very grateful for our sponsors who made it all possible. Network VC, the management company of our global ecosystem and main center of the venture activities. If you are a VC and want to do venture business, consider our Network VC and become a partner at our venture fund. Scan this QR code for more details. Silicon Valley Club, where the hottest deals for business angels are made. An accredited investor, this message is for you. If you want to invest into the startups that win our unicorn battles together with other VCs and business angels, scan this QR code or go to our event page and explore this amazing opportunity. Startup Inc. As for small check investors from all over the world. Follow the link to seize great opportunities. Thank you guys so much for standing by our side for such a long time. And today we are here, finally gathered together to go after going over a huge number of startups and seeing lots of pitches. We'll see best of the best pitching live at our amazing event. The winners of our semifinals unicorn battles that got the highest scores from our esteemed judges and as well as startups that were awarded by our sponsor have the honor to represent their region and industry. Welcome, winners of industry-focused unicorn battles of this season. This amazing event is brought to you by us, Unicorn.Events. We are the world's largest pitch competition where successful startups that have a potential to become unicorns pitch for private investors and venture funds. We started our events way back in 2009 and do them on a regular basis all over the world, online, offline, any. We have done already more than 300 pitch events. We do them everywhere, on all continents. Boy, I'm so proud of my team. Without you, boys and girls, I will be nothing. Thank you so much for being so amazing and doing such great events. Unicorn.Events really help startups to fundraise, succeed, and become leaders in the industry. We have thousands of startups joining our community and meeting directly our investors. We have vast community of top VCs, of business angels, corporate VCs, and we can't be more proud when we sum up the numbers that our winners have raised. For the last 5 years only, it's almost $1 billion. So startups are great, investors are great. Thank you for being with us. Join us. It will be much, much more exciting in the future. We have great plans. And I just love Unicorn Events, and know you do too. And right now, very, very important announcement. We are inviting all of you to come and see us in Silicon Valley. At the beginning of July, we are doing a 4-day program, an emerging experience into the Silicon Valley venture industry. It will be a grand happening with lots of meetings, networking, workshops, events, great program. Please contact me, contact our event managers to know more. And I am really looking forward to meeting you in person finally and sharing something, not only knowledge, but and time and talk and wine and good time with you. So please come see us and we'll have a blast. And right away, I would like to announce that, every season, it's a very, very exciting journey. We have been all over the world, but we wouldn't be able to do it without our very important people, our partners. Thank you so much for doing our events with us. Thank you for standing by our side. Thank you for giving opportunity for amazing startups in your city, in your country, in your region, to meet our investors. Thank you for bringing your investors into our events. Dear partners, you are great. Thank you for being with us. And of course, new partners are welcome. We have international family. It's very productive. It's very interesting to be part of it. So please contact me or scan this QR code and we'll do some really great events with you, wherever you are. Our events are live and we are broadcasting all over the world via social media. Please help us to spread the word to the world of startups. Scan this QR code, become part of it, subscribe, put like. You will really, really help us to reach out to those guys who haven't heard about us, if any, left yet. And I cannot be more happy to present you our wonderful Lydia, event manager who does those great unicorn battles. This season was on her shoulders and she really did great. Lydia, congrats. We are here at the World Finals. And please tell us who made it all the way to the top.
Thank you so much, Anna. And first of all, hi, dear ladies and gentlemen. And I'm also glad to welcome you at our first batch of our Grand Finals Unicorn Cup. My name is Lydia, and I will be a host for our event today. And now, first of all, let me introduce you to our reliable media partner who have provided significant support in the preparation of our Unicorn Cup. So special thanks for ITK Media, The Times, Crypto News, the Expert Dojo, Reciprocity Roy, and Female Founders. Dear all, feel free to check our website where you can find all our media partners and more information about them by clicking the logos. And now we're extremely glad to welcome our investors today that represent such funds as Men's International, QP Digital, Gold Ventures Investments, Urano Capital, R3Y Ventures, 7VC Venture Capital, Vice Ocean Tech, Lima Ventures, Drummond Ventures, Idea Capital Ventures, Boza Ventures, Areta Ventures, Alpha One Ventures, CEILM Ventures, Fuda Growth Partner, 100X Venture Capital, KPMG Private Enterprise, and Onsal Global Ventures. So dear funds and partners, thank you so much. And I guess it's time to introduce you to our official judges who volunteer the available time today. And I guess Anna could help me with this part.
Anytime, Lydia, just ask. Yes, it's my honor to introduce you to our official judges. I would like to remind you that we have different categories of judges who will be evaluating startup investment potential. Business angels, judges from our expert board, and official judges. Official judges are selected in a special category because they represent some community of startups, of investors, and so we grant them a special category. And I would like to start with Yuri Serichenko, representing Ukraine. Yuri is a managing director at QP Digital. Hello, Yuri. Yuri, I guess he cannot hear us, but I see him. Okay. We have one of the representative of Ukraine also, Eric Kadyrov, general partner at 7BC Venture Capital. Hello, Eric.
Hello, everybody. Glad to be here and thanks for the invitation. I represent 7BC Fund. We are a California-based fund investing in AI and fintech, mostly doing rounds A and B. What else? I run a company called Private Tech Network. We apply AI for deal automation. And 7BC was in the top 10 performing funds in US. So I really wish you good luck and look forward to all the presentations today. Thank you.
Thank you, Yuri, Eric, for coming so much. Yuri will be joining us in a second. I remind you that all the votes, we will be closing the votes only at our USA session, which will be really late at night for Europe. And during the whole day, votes will be open and judges will be voting the whole day. Startups will pitch twice. So we will have more official judges and more judges as we go on. But also we have a representative of Israel, wonderful Leon Isan, a venture partner at Network VC and senator at World Business Angel Investment Forum. Leon, so glad to see you here with us.
Thank you, Anna. I'm really happy to be here. Thank you for the invitation. I'm a serial entrepreneur and people know me like inventor of the world first of the cleared wrist pulse oximetry monitor long before Apple other companies just entered into this stuff. And I'm really happy to see amazing companies and amazing judges and just have great expectation about what will come here.
Yes, it will be a tough competition because only winners are here. And of course, if you have had an opportunity to see the unicorn battle here, the unicorn cup is even more tight, but it's interesting. That's what makes it interesting. Thanks, Leon, for coming. And I will give a floor to official judges when they appear again and get connected. And now I would love you to meet our expert board, our wonderful judges representing venture funds, accelerators, some other entities that help startups to succeed, help investors to find the right startups. So dear judges, please represent yourself, pointing out what industry you invest in, what's the size of your investment is a sweet spot, what geography you're looking for. So everyone in the world will know. Push a button, raise your hand. It's a yellow palm in your menu. And I will give you a floor, dear judges. We have 2 slides of judges. Yes, Vanfara, nice to see you.
Hi, Anna. Hi, Lydia, and everybody. Hello from Malaysia. This time, I'm so glad to be attending this grand finale for the Unicorn Cup. I'm from Alpha One Ventures, and we are an active part of the ecosystem in Malaysia, and we are helping startups to get funding from investors, as well as we will potentially invest in the future ourselves. We are sector agnostic, and we prefer those who are, Series A and above, but also we want to listen to all. So I want to wish all of you a great presentation today, and looking forward. Thank you.
Thank you. And welcome. Kaboye, yes, go ahead.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're audible.
I'm so happy and privileged to participate in this period of time at this Unicorn battle. My name is Ronald Kawe, and I'm in Uganda. Sorry, I was just traveling as I take my good notes here. I welcome all the pitchers and the participants in this event today, and I really wish them the best. I represent Inspires for Better and Smart Cities and the startups development ecosystem within Uganda. And yeah, I hope to take good notes and put my efforts onto what the teachers shall be really presenting, and my efforts on how they can move forward with their beautiful ideas. Thank you so much, and I wish you well all. Thank you.
Thank you, Kaboy, so much. And John Evans, hi again.
Thank you, Anna. I'm John Evans. I'm currently in Suzhou, China, and have been focusing on connecting SMEs and startups between Europe and China. But I'm in the process of relocating to ASEAN and expect to be settled into Bangkok by the end of the year to expand the focus, which is on healthcare and fintech companies. And a little extra will be that starting this fall, we'll also be launching 2 industry vertical accelerators in healthcare and fintech with the Founder Institute for ASEAN. So I'm looking forward to the new environment and the new challenge, and appreciate being able to join today. Thank you, Anna.
Thank you, John, for coming so much. And Adrian, yes, you were next.
Hi, thank you for inviting me. It's great to be at this event once again. And I'm part of Polish Tech Day. We're helping Polish and Eastern European startups build connections with investors in Western Europe, mainly France and UK.
Great to have you with us.
Thank you.
Enjoy. And Belinda, nice to see you. Yes, please speak up, Belinda. You have to unmute yourself.
Hi, my name is Belinda Wong from Hong Kong. My main business is corporate governance, ensure that government companies operate in the proper manner and also in compliance with the relevant law. My other role is managing the Startup China Club platform in Hong Kong, connecting startups from Hong Kong, China with the rest of the world. It's my honor to be joining this event, seeing all the creative ideas of the projects. Thank you.
Thank you, Belinda, for coming. George, or Georg.
Yeah, hi everybody. Thanks for having me. Happy to be on board today again as a judge. My name is Georg Reiferscheid, currently based in Germany. I'm an 8-time founder myself and working as a sparring partner with my company G&L Ventures for startups and young founders, mostly focusing on edtech impact startups, but having currently that very diverse portfolio. And yeah, looking forward to the pitches and good luck to everyone, and glad to have a nice morning.
Yeah, it is really nice. Welcome and enjoy. Dear judges, anyone else would like to speak up? If no, we are giving the floor to the stars of our event, these startups. Lydia, are you ready?
Sure. We're ready, absolutely. And first of all, I want to say thank you to our official judges and expert board for your introduction and for introduction your funds. And finally, we are moving to our most exciting part of the event. We have 7 amazing startups from all over the world. Each founder will have 3 minutes for a pitch and 5 minutes for Q&A session. Dear startups, we recommend not to mention any fundraising out loud, so please use our Zoom chat or other channels of communication in this regard. Thank you so much. And let's welcome the most inspiring startups today. And the first startup that opens our grand final is Deep Media, that took first play in AI software, AI VR Unicorn Battle from the USA. And please welcome here Riju, who will be represented.
Thanks, Lydia. Really an honor to be here and excited to share our vision and company with everyone here. So I will go ahead and share my screen. All right, excellent. So again, my name is Riju Gupta. I am CEO of Deep Media, where we pioneer synthetic generation and detection of AI content. I founded Deep Media 6 years ago. I remember the exact day I founded it because that was the first time I'd ever seen a deepfake video. It was a video of Jordan Peele and President Obama, and Jordan Peele's face and his voice and his emotions and everything was being transferred to President Obama absolutely perfectly. I saw that video and was immediately struck by the immense power this technology had to create fully realistic synthetic faces and voices. And I had this vision of the future where everything we see on the internet, on news and media, even in real-time Zoom chats, could be fake. And now 6 years later, that vision has come to fruition. I know everyone's really excited about AI and generative AI, but the big question that everyone's asking is how do we capture the value of AI while protecting people against the threats of synthetic content? And Deep Media believes that the solution is creating an ethical generation product that feeds data into a detection platform. For us, that looks like an AI dubbing platform that can grow globally really quickly, get a lot of data, and feed that directly into a detection platform. And that is the exact solution we've been pioneering over the past 5 years. Our synthetic platform for AI dubbing can work in 50 different languages, meaning that it can ingest and create content for over 6 billion people. As we collect more data, we develop our algorithms, we make them better, more realistic, we integrate the real and fake data into our detection. The detection gets better at looking at what's real and what's not real. We deliver that detection product to enterprises, and that detection product then makes our generation and data collection easier. It is a self-reinforcing cycle. Now, while the market for synthetic localization is big today, the market for detection will reach $30 billion by 2026, according to a recent article posted in Bloomberg. We've already seen deepfakes cost at least $1 billion to date, and that's expected to grow to $1 billion annually over the next 5 years. And so our solution actually allows people to automatically detect what's real and what's fake in faces, images, audio, and video. It pinpoints the exact moments of an audio, video, image, or text that could be fake, delivers that content back to the user, whether it's a news organization, a government, a large tech company, or an individual person themselves. We boast the highest accuracies to date. This is actually a little outdated. We recently developed algorithms that are now 99% accurate in both faces and voices, with the latest quality deepfake generators in over 50 different languages. We have established partnerships with the United States Department of Defense. We have a $1.5 million contract with the US DoD, as well as a $25 million CRADA with the United States Air Force. Our current customers include museums, Department of Defense. We are currently working with United Nations, as well as major YouTubers, as well as the big studios for the localization. We have a couple of confidential partnerships that I can't get into detail, but these include major news organizations, the largest media streaming company in the world, and the third largest tech company to date. The company was founded by myself, a Yale graduate with a degree in machine learning, and my co-founder, Emma, who is also a Yale graduate with a degree in linguistics. Emma actually speaks 7 languages fluently, so she is a very big part of what makes our company so special. I believe that is my time, so I want to make sure we have left enough time here for questions. Feel free to ask me anything you might have here today. Otherwise, you can always just email me online.
Thank you so much, Riju, for great presentation. And please, John, have a first question, please.
Thank you for that. It's a very interesting topic, of course. The one thing I would like to get a bit more information about is your commercial model. I see you've got a diverse range of customers from government to private sectors. I didn't see a description of sort of your revenue pricing model. What is your actual offering? How do you price it? How does that all work?
Sure. So for detection, our model is classic enterprise SaaS. It's based on a per seat basis with about $50,000 on average per seat. Our current go-to-market strategy is to work with established institutions such as governments first. Then that's what we've already established. We have large partnerships with the US Department of Defense, as well as the Singaporean Ministry of Defense. The second stage of our plan is to go into these major tech companies that are actually forced by governments to regulate deepfake content. They're currently forced by the Chinese government, and the United States government and European governments have announced plans to regulate this. So they're going to be forced to adopt a solution like ours. And then the third stage of that's kind of where we're at in our customer journey. And then the third stage, which we're planning to address by next year, is to actually get on device. So anytime you get a phone call from someone that could be a deep fake. In fact, just a couple of months ago, senior citizens in Canada were scammed out of hundreds of thousands of dollars by fake phone calls from their, supposed relatives, but they're all deep fakes, right? So eventually getting on device and being the next version of antivirus software is the long-term strategy.
Thank you.
Thank you, John. And please, Leon. Leon, please unmute yourself. We can hear you.
Sorry. I didn't hear about some financial results and the stages of your collaboration with such amazing organizations. So could you elaborate on this? I mean, growth rate, and really it's what kind of stage they buy it? It's commercial stage or some, I don't know, project stage, trials. So please elaborate.
Sure. So again, the first part of our strategy was to go into government. And we currently have a $1.5 million contract with the United States Department of Defense, who is right now using our detection capabilities to make sure what they're seeing and hearing is real and authentic. That is a full-fledged commercial contract. The second stage of our development, which we just started, is more in the tech companies and news organizations. Those are currently looking at, we're currently engaged in pilots with these tech companies and news organizations and expect that to scale to full-fledged revenue by the end of the year. So we're projected by end of this year to have $3 million in government contracts and $2 million in commercial contracts. And then by the end of next year, as we go into on-device platforms with people like Apple and Samsung, we expect revenue to double up to $10 million.
Thank you, Leon. And please, Mark.
So how many employees do you have now? How many employees do you project? And I enjoyed what you shared, but where are you struggling? Because it sounds like you're not struggling anywhere. And I'd like you to share
we have, it is a good time to be in the space. I mean, generative AI is hot right now. I would say we were struggling for many years, kind of shouting into the void that this is a problem that people need to take seriously, but now people kind of get it. So we're a team of 20 people, heavy on the engineering side, but we also include linguists and operational experts. As we continue to grow, we want to make sure that we attract the best and the brightest machine learning engineering talent. But we are also planning to scale up our sales and go-to-market strategy staff early this year. We want to make sure we keep a lean team. I'm not a fan of companies that get really big teams and kind of get bloated really fast. We want to make sure that we are a team of the highest quality operators operating as efficiently as possible and move forward at scale with that mindset.
What's your burn rate?
Our burn rate currently is about $140,000 a month.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. And please, quick question from Shahana.
Hi there. I just wanted to ask you a very basic question. Now that deepfake is a concern in these days, especially with the generation using social media, how does your service support in the social media activities or platforms like Facebook or any others that are kind of harmful in terms of cyber security issues when there are people using these platforms to create deepfake videos and misusing them in terms of trafficking or pornographies and all that stuff. So how are you serving that area? Thank you.
Right. So I alluded to this earlier, that the Chinese government has actually mandated that social media is operating in China remove deepfakes from their platform. That is a law. The United States and Europe are soon going to be coming out with laws that say social medias have to tag and monitor deepfakes on their platform. Because our technology is so accurate and so scalable and cost effective, I mentioned also that we're working with one of the largest tech companies in the world. What we're doing there is, it is a video streaming social media platform. When people upload content to their platform, before it's actually posted, we can run that content through our detectors, our face and voice detection algorithms, which will automatically detect, again, with 99% accuracy, whether something is a deepfake on this in this video. And if it's in China, they're not allowed to post it. If it's in the United States or Europe, they are allowed to post it, but it will be flagged with a post that says this is a deepfake piece of content. And so as people upload 3.7 million videos to this platform every single day, each and every one of those is going to be run through our detectors, which then help keep people safe from this misinformation, from this deepfake pornography and deepfake fake news that we've already seen has been a huge threat to democracy, the individual person. I mean, at Deep Media, we think that there is nothing that's a bigger threat to businesses, societies, and just individuals as deepfake content. Like, this is a threat to reality itself, the concept of reality. And so being able to fight against that is something that we're very proud of.
Right. You have been highly focusing towards the United States, China, the Europe area. What about any focus towards Asia or your own countryside? You know what I mean?
Sure. We have, at a certain point, we kind of have to go where the regulation is coming from. We do believe that other nations in Asia, Southeast Asia, South America, Africa will soon adopt similar regulations. But right now, a lot of the focus from the government side, from the tech side, from the enterprise side is in the United States, Canada, Europe, and China.
Thank you so much, Hannah, and thank you so much, Riju, for your answers and great pitch deck. We are waiting for you at our second batch. And now, please welcome here startup number 2 from the Biotech and Neuroscience Unicorn Battle, Soap Health from the USA, and I really welcome here Steven, who will be represented.
Can you see my pitch?
Yeah, we see. Please do a full screen.
It's I don't know why it's not it's not letting me get to the top of the screen here.
Maybe you can reshare just.
Sorry, okay. Imagine the perfect doctor, always available, infinitely patient, knows everything. Well, stop imagining, because that person doesn't exist. If he or she did exist, my brother and a dear friend, both physicians, might still be alive today because their overworked and time-constrained colleagues made mistakes that cost them their lives. My name is Dr. Stephen Charlap, and I founded Soap Health to solve that problem so other people wouldn't have to go through the same tragedy. We've developed 3 modules already and 2 more in delivery. The first one is the perfect medical interviewer, the world's first 100% voice and image-based AI-powered medical avatar interviewer. It collects data from patients at home, in the office, or both. It has been proven to collect more accurate, truthful, detailed medical data than any form or even most doctors. We then take that data and we run it through the world's first combined risk and symptom assessment. This allows identification of risks, and number 1 rule for malpractice is malpractice of misdiagnosis happens because doctors fail to consider or identify risks. These additional risk factors also allow doctors to bill at a higher level. And finally, we take that data and we present it in the SMART SOAP note, which stands for Subjective Objective Assessment Plan. This saves doctors 2 hours a day, and it allows them to easily absorb and edit a note. And based on a partnership, this note can be integrated into any electronic health record by voice command. We say we're the world's first because we have a patent issued on the use of a digital human as a medical interviewer. We have a patent pending on combining risk and symptom assessment to improve diagnostic accuracy and reduce misdiagnosis. We also have a proprietary database of over 100,000 phrases that doctors and patients would use interchangeably. We've done 3 pilots, including a study published by the Applied AI Research Group at Stanford Healthcare. And the headline was, patients believe that an application like ours would improve care by 80%. We did 2 more pilots, one in rural Alabama, where 100% of patients were flagged with additional data missed by their doctors. 67%, 2 out of 3, had risk missed by their doctors. And there was a 17% increase in revenue. We built this product for everybody, and so we also piloted it with underprivileged patients in inner city Miami, primarily Black and Hispanic poor patients, which we demonstrated a 95% completion rate, 90% satisfaction, and reduced intake and documentation time by 66%. The market is huge because over $750 billion is spent every year on diagnostic errors. We estimate the service addressable market to be $6.7 billion on a SaaS model. We believe $280 million in ARR is achievable, which is 4.1% of the market, because there's already a publicly traded company generating that revenue with a far less sophisticated product. And we already have a pipeline of over 200,000 physicians that use products like Athena Health and Dobie, both of which we are integrated with. From a competitive perspective, there are many companies in the patient intake, but no one is focused on perfecting the patient intake. No one is focused on perfecting diagnosis by combining risk and symptom assessment. No one uses fully voice-based. No one presents the data in an easier to read fashion for the doctor, and no one is using voice command to finish the note and insert it into the electronic health record. We've partnered already with some of the biggest names in healthcare, such as the Mayo Clinic, the University of Miami, and a number of other physician practices. Our management team has already 2 successful health exits and 100 years of combined healthcare and technology experience, and we just had accepted offers by a chief finance and a chief operations officer that will add another 30+ years of combined healthcare and technology experience. And with that, thank you. That concludes my presentation. I'm sorry for my technical issue.
Thank you so much, Stephen. And dear judges, it's time for you. And Belinda has a first question. Please, Belinda.
What is your major market and any expansion plan to other markets?
Yes, so we're currently in the US and the UK. We have a number of GP practices in the UK who believe our product would disrupt the #1 competitor in the UK, which is a product that asks a question on a screen and then asks the patient to fill in the answer, while ours is completely voice-based and image-based. We were invited to do a 1,000-patient proof of concept in India, where 5 million people die every year from diagnostic errors, and 50 million diagnostic errors result in disabilities. But they weren't willing to pay for it, so we said no for now. So we're primarily focused on the US physician market. We also have a large partnership with a major life insurance company in the US, but that is moving very slow, so I didn't mention it initially, but we're primarily focused US physician market and the UK physician market. But this is a global product because it can be available in multiple languages. In places like India, doctors literally only have 2 minutes to spend with a patient. In the UK, it's about 12 minutes. In the US, it's about 12 to 15 minutes. Doctors don't spend enough time with patients, and that's why they make these diagnostic errors. And we have solved for those problems.
Thank you, Belinda. And please, Leon, you raised your hand.
Very, very interesting, very important tools, like tools and features. My question, even I have 2 questions. My first question is very quick. Could you just in 1-2 words say what you're doing and what's the problem you solve using all these amazing tools you develop? And my second question about your financial result, do you have paid trials? Do you have commercial agreements? And so how are you growing? Thank you.
So the answer to your second question is yes, we have paid contracts in place and we just started generating revenue. And your first question, I didn't fully understand. If you don't mind repeating it.
I just, you told about a lot of tools you are using to help patients and physicians. I would like to hear something in 1 to maximum 3 words, exactly what kind of problem you solve.
Yes, so the problem we're solving is that doctors don't spend enough time with patients. They're under time pressures. It's hard to keep up with medical knowledge. And as a result, the National Academy of Medicine now predicts that everyone in the world will experience a diagnostic error.
You mean you solve, 1 second, I asked about to answer in 2 or 3 words. And is it safety?
It's safety, efficiency, productivity, revenue.
This is your elevator pitch.
The innovation is that digital humans are better interviewers than humans. That's what the science has shown. That's what our pilots have shown.
Yeah, good.
And
but
once you have better data.
You solve the problem of safety. All other stuff, better, growing, and other words is just about tools and features. You solve the problem of patient safety, right?
Well, also physician productivity, because doctors are reporting very high rates of burnout across the globe.
And so this reflects in patient safety.
It all ultimately comes back to patient care.
Yeah, okay, good, thank you.
Thank you, Leon. Please, Georg.
Yeah, thanks, Stephen, for your pitch. A very interesting topic. One question towards the capability of the AI, let's say, to have some emotional adjustment regarding the interview. Let's say if there's sensitive data, sensitive illnesses, and the patient gets, I don't know, maybe emotional. Is there any chance that the AI adjusts to the state of this patient?
Yes. So first of all, in medicine, you can anticipate a lot of responses to the questions. And so we build into the dialogue empathy. Plus, we're going to be incorporating very shortly the emotion analysis tool offered by Google Dialogflow that will be able to read the respondents' emotions and also respond accordingly to that. But right now, we've hard-coded empathy into the actual conversational dialogue. So for example, if the patient says, I don't have cancer in my family, the genie will say, oh, that's great. But this is such an important question. Let me make sure you understand what I mean by family. I mean uncles and aunts and cousins as well. So she responded to what the user said, but then she also, continued. So there's built-in empathy right now, hard-coded, but there will be natural language understanding empathy based on an emotional sentiment reader.
Okay, thanks. Great.
Thank you so much. Dear judges, we don't have a lot of time, but please use our Zoom chat for your questions to Stephen, because we need to move to our startup number 4, because startup number 3 had technical issues. I believe they connect to us a little bit later. And please welcome startup number 4, Deepy Medical from Germany. They took first place at AI, VR, software, and AE Unicorn Battle. And I welcome here Manuel. Manuel, the stage is yours.
It was a bit earlier than expected, but happy to do so. So thanks for having me. Hello, Manuel here from Deepy Medical. We prevent blindness by improving retinal therapy using AI. Well, this seems to be a common thread today. Deepy is a spin-out from Germany's leading private eye center, and my CTO and myself, we have launched 7 different product families in 7 different health tech startups before. We are advised by KOLs from Europe's 2 largest eye clinics. And the problem we're trying to solve is that 100 million people worldwide suffer from late-stage retinal diseases, which ultimately lead to blindness. I have 3 cases of this actually in my family. So I have a very high risk of developing it myself as well when I grow old. Since 15 years, there's a drug to stop people from going blind, but due to aging societies and other factors like diabetes, it has become the 5th most costly drug therapy worldwide. In the US alone, we do 8 million injections straight into the eye every single year. And it is the #1 drug cost in the Medicare Part B budget. So 12% of the budget. This therapy is currently dished out on a one-size-fits-all basis, and it creates an enormous burden for patients and doctors alike. This is why many patients drop out of this therapy. So more than 60% actually within the first 2 years, meaning they just go blind. Our doctors have now found a way to actually overcome this problem and achieved 3 times better outcomes and 2 times higher therapy adherence than the average eye doctors. And they didn't test it on 100 or 1,000 patients, but on 2,500 patients over 2 years. So how will we bring now their solution to all our eye doctors out there? We basically invented this highly scalable solution that you can see here. It's an integration into the existing imaging system. So this is not our software. This is a standard software which is out there in all eye doctor practices. And there are basically 3 major players. We are integrated with 2 of them already, and we are working with the 3rd one on integrating as well. And you get an AI report. This AI report provides concrete suggestions on how the future course of treatment of this patient should be. So we do not only give them a second opinion, we even give them a glimpse of the future of how this patient will progress. This is totally unique. We don't also take away something from doctors. We don't try to supervise them. We really provide them something which is totally out of what they have gotten so far based on these images. And we also provide them some kind of explanation. So explainability AI is always a very important part for doctors, as you know. And this is also our key USP. This is not replicable because the data set that we got from our co-founding doctors, but also by now from 67, yesterday we signed another contract, 67 eye clinics. They all pool their data. We get longitudinal data over 10 years, sometimes patients with 100 injections. This is totally unique worldwide to have such a longitudinal data set, and you won't get it because most other clinics, they have data sets stretching over maybe 1.5 years per patient. Oh, going to the next slide. So where are we right now? After 10 years of research, we spun out DeepEye end of 2021. So last year was our first business year, and with our preclinical product, we convinced already all top-tier pharma companies in this area. They're all paying customers. We currently integrate, as I said, with those 3 large players who have 80–90% market share in the US, in Europe, in all major countries. And well, besides the sales that we did in our first year, we have contracts of $1.3 million on the table, 1 million, which is already signed for the coming years. We recently also received some term sheets, and this is also why we talk here today. We have a funding round, which was intended to be 1.52 million. We actually now buffed up the level, so it will go up to 2.3 million, and we are very happy to talk about this if you want to participate with the last open ticket. If you want to join our mission, prevent 1 million people from blindness by 2030, please reach out.
It's all, yeah, Manuel.
Of course.
Thank you so much for a great speech. And we already have a first question from John.
Yes, thank you for that. I just want to revisit a little bit on the commercial model side. I was a little bit confused when you said you were working with the 3 providers of the optical assessments, but then at a later point, you said you were also dealing with a lot of eye clinics. So who are your customers, or do you have multiple customer segments, and what is your pricing model?
Excellent question. So the pricing model is pretty easy. So it's usually an annual license fee, and this depends kind of on the number of patients or therapies delivered. It can be anything between 7,000 euros for a small practice up to 80,000 a year for a large clinic. For pharma companies, we usually charge in the 6 digits actually. So right now we only work with pharma companies because this device is not yet approved, or the software is not yet approved as a medical device. So we use it in clinical trials. So we are, for instance, part of 2 phase 4 trials, or for revisiting their retrospective data from previous phase 3 trials. and they get a marketing benefit because then they can use it to publish it, and then maybe we can make new claims on existing drugs so they can extend maybe the label. What we are doing now with this round is we have already found the distributors, which are the 3 OCT manufacturers and their software where we are integrated. And as a marketing channel, we work with, for instance, in Germany with the Ophthalmic Association. They are really deeply convinced of the product. They even do a paid beta phase with us so that we can bring it to their customers. And this is why we are raising the money. We want to distribute it from middle of next year on to all the eye doctors out there once we have the medical approval. And this is also with the current money that we have in this round, we could easily do this for Europe. But as we see now, there is huge interest from investors, and we already got term sheets from the US. We want to raise a bit more and use the money to already go for the FDA approval kind of in parallel.
Thank you.
Thank you, John. And please, next question from Adrian.
Hi, thank you for the presentation. I have similar problems in my family, so I'll be keeping fingers crossed for this. Can you tell us a little bit more about your landscape competition, and if your technology can be used also to diagnose other eyesight problems, or you're focusing purely on retina for now?
Yeah. Okay, so 2 questions. One, maybe first about the indications. We are starting in neovascular AMD. This is a cause for more than 50% of blindness in the US as well as Europe. However, the data that we have, and I give you a number here, it's around 750,000 OCT scans by now, each of it containing 50 to 180 to 300 images, so roughly 50 million images that we have in total. This also contains diabetic macular edema, retinal vein occlusion, dry AMD, but also some smaller things like CCS. And also, this data contains data about, for instance, stuff like Alzheimer's, stroke onset, MS, and other diseases. In the first case, we fully focus on the retina part, meaning the eye doctors. However, if in the future the system, will be less siloed, and we could also have, recommendations to other doctors, we also think about, applying those use cases like Alzheimer onset predictions. I mean, there are a lot of papers, and I would say this is more research stage. So don't bank on a business case here within the next 3 years, but maybe more like 5 to 7 years down the road. Regarding the competitive landscape, there are around 65 companies worldwide who do ophthalmic AI, so a lot. 80% of them are in screening. So they target GPs, they target optometrists and opticians, and they basically tell you, you have something, you should go and see an eye doctor. Then there are around maybe 10 companies who are in the area of diagnostic support. So they really tell the eye doctor, well, this is this kind of disease, or there are certain biomarkers, you should look at those biomarkers. We are the first and so far only commercial company who is looking at really treatment response prediction. And this is also pretty unique because our doctor said this is for them the most critical step, the most cost involved, the most errors are done in this step. And this is also, where the money is flowing. So there's a clear reimbursement pathway. We even have a reimbursement pathway in Germany. For the US, we want to apply for a new code. So this will take some years with studies. And last but not least, then there are some other companies which are very complementary as well. They are looking at, monitoring the patient at home. So they basically make sure that the patients, when they are at home, that they come at the right time to the doctor, while we make the prediction, when should they come in, how many injections do they need in the coming year, in the coming 2 years, what's the optimal interval between injections, is it monthly, bi-monthly, every 3 months? This is the things that we do. And that's why we also want to collaborate with all those other parties, or could even stretch out. They can never come to our area because, again, they don't possess the data that we have, the longitudinal data set that they would need to make those predictions.
Thank you, Adrian. And please welcome here Mark with his question.
So to get reimbursement in the US, which I think is going to be critical to scale, you said it's going to take some years. What do you mean by some years? 10 years? 4 years? What?
Yeah.
And
So the good part is there have been other companies who already achieved it. Actually, in our area, the first actually 2 applications for even autonomous AI systems were in ophthalmology, not in radiology. They were for screening. So what we are trying to do is basically replicate this now for treatment response predictions. And we have a very seasoned clinical director. She's a US citizen, 25 years doing applications, more than 25 FDA applications done successful. And so we have basically a clinical protocol to build up those studies. And the big question is, how long will it take? We don't know 100% for sure. Our target window is to have the CPT and CMS reimbursement code by 2027. Might take a year longer, but based on how much we raise in this round, we could even maybe achieve it a year earlier, because it will take a 2-year trial. We can't do this faster to show the clinical benefits. So it's less about the regulatory side being safe. It's more about showing and proving the efficacy that we can really improve outcomes and reduce therapy dropouts. This is what we want to prove against ourselves. So we're basically like a blockbuster drug built with software. So it's much, much faster and much, much cheaper compared to a biotechnology, a new drug therapeutic, which takes 15 years and 1 billion investment. We are much cheaper, but we could have the same scale in terms of outcomes, and therefore also in terms of reimbursement.
what's the cost for the patient right now? Are any of these entities charging the patient, or are they taking the cost themselves? And also from a training standpoint, how long does the training take so it can be explained, so the data can be explained properly to the patient?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Manuel, can you please answer at this question at our Zoom chat, because we're so limited in time. Thank you so much. Thank you for your answers and for your perfect speech. And dear all, please, I want to welcome here startup number 5, Authority from Ecuador. And Authority took 2nd place at our FinTech, Crypto and Blockchain Unicorn Battle. And I really want to invite here Juan, please. The stage is yours, Juan.
Hello, everybody. Can you see my screen now?
Perfect, yeah.
Yes, great. So I'll start. So a few months ago, I found a digital speeding ticket in my email folder. Living in Ecuador, I was surprised by 2 things. First, that I actually received a notification, and second, they already had accumulated interest on it. So my journey to pay it started. I tried to pay it in the institution website, but it wasn't working. So I had to go in person to the institution, made a 40-minute line, tried to pay it with a credit card. They will not accept it. And I had to go back to the ATM, take out cash, go back, make the 40-minute line, and pay my $120 speeding ticket. And that's when we realized that vehicle administration, payments, and information are a mess. Vehicle owners are lonely, lost, and overwhelmed by the amount of services they need to keep track on. And this is because vehicle administrations and payments are independent and decentralized. All the information channels are broken. Verticalized or individual apps usually don't work. And the most importantly is credit cards are vaguely accepted in this space. I'm sorry, and this is not a small market. On average, a vehicle owner will process around 100 transactions per year worth $8,500. So how do we do it? Our app is 100% free to install and register. We just need the vehicle's driver plate number, and we become centralization ninjas. We collect and capture data through open APIs and scrapping. We process payments, and we settle them immediately through accredited collections agencies. Everything is done in seconds and in real time. But the best thing about this is that we utilize this data that we capture to keep our customers engaged and forever, something that nobody else does. We bring convenience and simplicity into our users' hands. In our app, users are able to stay informed and pay for everything around their vehicle, like traffic tickets, taxes, toll roads, parking, even their insurance policy and gas. We're behind a $1.7 trillion annual market that hosts 200 million vehicles in Latin America. And yes, this number does not include buying or selling cars. This is just around the services that vehicle owners need to pay on a yearly basis. We make about $100 of revenue per year per user that's derived from three sources: transactions, advertising, and external customers hosting their customers in our app. We're a B2C company, but we acquire users through partnerships. For example, Zurich will onboard 65,000 users to our app that will generate us $4 million in revenue and $40 million in GMV. And we have even been able to place Authority as a payment alternative in the actual traffic ticket itself. Since our launch a few months ago, we've processed over 30,000 transactions. We've collected over $1 million in GMV, and we've generated $150,000 in revenue. And the best is that our CAC ROI sits only at 3.6 months. We have built an outstanding team. Diego, Guillermo, and I are second-time founders with a very strong experience in technology, of course, vehicles and services. Our team comes from unicorn companies like Tool, OLX, Cabify, and General Motors. Lastly, we're backed by Techstars, and so far we've raised $1.4 million. We compete against many players: banks, retail stores, even the same institutions behind the services that we offer. But all of them do it either offline or decentralized. And we know we just make it better and simpler, everything in one place and in seconds. So join us in connecting, centralizing, and making every vehicle owner's life easier. Thank you.
Thank you, Juan. And please, judges, it's time to you for your questions. And Leon, please welcome.
Thank you, Han. Thank you. Very interesting presentation. My question is about scalability. As I understand, the vehicle management is different in different countries. So how are you going to solve this problem, or are you going just to keep your business in your country?
Yeah, so for scalability or expansion, we are looking to expand with the partnerships that we closed. For example, the Zurich partnership that we have right now, it's regionally, not only in Ecuador, and we're closing a partnership with Primax, which is the largest gas network for gasoline. So that's the way how to do it. As for the public services, usually we capture data through open data, right? That's open to the public. That's how we capture it. So it's not a hassle. So yeah, we're looking to having 2 or 3 strong partnerships that are present regionally that we can penetrate a new market with them.
Thank you.
Thank you, John. And please, Shahana.
Hi. You said your business model is B2B2C, right?
Yeah, so we acquire customers on a B2B2C basis, but eventually we take the money out of either, depends on the transaction that the customer is making. For example, if a customer is paying a traffic ticket, we will charge the customer a convenience fee for processing through our platform. But a customer will acquire an insurance policy, we get a 20% commission from the insurance, right? So it's kind of hybrid between the services that we serve.
So what's your total customer base at this moment?
Right now, we're at 24,000 active users in just 6 months.
All right, great, thanks.
Yep.
Thank you, Shahana. And anybody else, judges? We still have 2 minutes for your question. John, please.
Yeah, just a follow-up to the first question from Leon. So you advertise in your presentation Latin America. So, I mean, is your initial geographic target market sort of Central and South America? And is language a factor in any larger geographic expansion?
Yeah, so right now we're focused in Latin America because for 2 things. We're kind of experts in the field and we know the region very well. That doesn't mean we don't have a global vision. And second of all, Latin America is well delayed on digital payments regarding this services specifically, right? If you go to the US or maybe Europe, of course, you already have some strong apps on certain verticals, which are commonly used by users. But we think that our approach in Latin America, I think it's the right moment to do it because, first of all, internet penetration is very big. Everybody owns a smartphone. And usually people that own car has a smartphone. So yeah, Latin America is very big. It's a very big continent. But eventually we do see Authority becoming a global company. I think the need is there.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, John. And if nobody have no questions, I guess thank you so much, Juan, for a great speech. I guess to see you at our second batch. And now, please welcome here startup number 6, Medicsen from Spain. Medicsen took the first place at our Biotech and Neuroscience Unicorn Battle. And I'm really happy to invite here Eduardo, who will represent this startup. Eduardo.
Hello.
The
How are
stage
you?
is yours.
All
We're
right.
also great.
Awesome. So let me share my screen. There we go. Can you see it?
Perfectly.
Yeah, perfect. All right. So thank you very much. I am Eduardo Jorgensen. I'm a medical doctor and CEO at Medicsen, where we have developed a needle-free smart patch for painless drug delivery. And we founded the company because needles are a pain for the world. And not only for patients, because there are 16 billion needles as biohazard environmental waste every year, costing 3 billion euros in accidental injuries in Europe alone. And they limit adherence. I met a young girl with diabetes in my hospital consult who refused to keep injecting insulin 3 times per day because it meant more than 1,000 injections every year. So we invented a small piece of technology that creates safe ultrasound waves to enlarge the natural pores in the skin temporarily and push big drugs to go through. And we built it into a wearable smart patch completely free of needles, which can work with multiple drugs like heparin, interferon, or antibodies. It has a durable component with the electronics to last for 3 years. And all that patients need to do is inserting a recyclable cartridge that lasts for 3 days, placing the device on the body and activating it with the app or the buttons for a safe and painless delivery, which is a significant improvement from current alternatives because jet injectors are bulky, microneedles are disconnected, and implants are not safe for risky drugs like insulin. So despite the fierce competition in a 25 billion euro market, these companies are failing to address the main user needs around comfort. Our ultrasound smart patch enables the needle-free delivery for large drugs, adding huge value because it is painless, wearable, and connected for telemonitoring. It is friendlier for the environment and sterile for caregiver safety, and adaptable to multiple drugs to ease the pharma's R&D process. So far, we have raised 3 million euros. We have a granted patent and a working prototype validated with positive results on in vivo pig trials. And we have secured international patients associations endorsing our value, pharma companies like Merck supporting us, and the CEO of the European insulin pharma Bioton signed a letter confirming their efforts to partner with us at the moment. We have a team with 16 professionals committed through stock options, including the founders who created previous medical devices that achieved sales, engineers coming from NASA and MIT, a medical team that grew up in Philips and Roche, and strong advisors as the CEO of Sandoz Spain. We envision a highly scalable B2B model by licensing the device for different drugs. We could license to Pfizer for antibodies, Synthetica or Sanofi for heparin, and to Lilly or Bioton for insulin. And our benchmark shows that each license could easily reach 50,000 users in 5 years and bring around 100 million in that period. We're just completing miniaturization with the animal trial results, and we have obtained a grant of 2.5 million by the European Commission to conduct human trials next year, which is half of the money that we will need until meeting our goal of reaching the market for insulin in 2025 and eliminating 30 million injections from the world by 2028. So please join us for a needle-free future. Thank you.
Thank you, Eduardo, for being in time. And we have already first question from Shahana, please.
Hi, thank you for your pitch. I just wanted to understand one thing, this the synchronization between using your patch and the app. It is internet-based, like it needs internet connectivity to synchronize, or can it be, I mean, how do you connect it if the situation is as such that you don't have, you have some difficulty with internet connections, and you know, in that scenario or an offline situation, how do you deal with that kind of an emergency?
So the device doesn't need to be connected to the internet to be working.
Okay.
The first generation device is envisioned as a manual device for the patient to control, because we want to take the value proposition to the market as soon as possible, which is getting rid of needles and cannulas. And we leave for second generation devices the automation in a closed loop system, which will require an algorithm working with the device. And to solve the problems with internet connection in all situations, we consider adding the algorithm to the device itself, and it can copy or synchronize every time it has internet, and then be based on that base set of patient data in order to deliver the insulin. But as I was saying, that's for future generations.
Yeah, but so have you faced during your piloting and everything, have you faced any kind of challenges in terms of flaws with the synchronization or late synchronization time, something like that?
No, so the thing is that the synchronization with the internet is only necessary for devices for therapeutic areas like diabetes infusion pump, when you need an extreme control over every minute. But our technology is a platform. It can work with many different drugs like heparin, like antibodies. And those situations, you don't need internet connection. So as I was saying, in this initial, not for the moment, because
you have faced? You've mentioned that you have got a high number of users. So any major challenges that you've come across during your user experiences and everything that you needed to take care of, but you still couldn't find a solution to?
So the technology is not yet on the market, so we don't have
No, I'm saying
users
from
yet.
your pilot user experiences.
So the challenges in terms of this technology is that sonophoresis ultrasound technology has never been validated as a drug delivery device that got to the market before. It has a lot of trials and literature, but never got to the market. So our biggest challenge right now is to follow all the regulatory path, which is uncertain. So we're approaching all the agencies like the FDA through a pre-submission in order to understand if they think that our clinical path is the correct one for the data that they will need to see.
Are you having to do any kind of advocacies with these farms associations who needs to approve your device, something like that? Like, not everyone would be aware of this unique design or something like that. So are you having any difficulty in making them understand that how unique it is or how efficient it is?
Yes, of course. So we are approaching the pharma companies and the medtechs as our potential clients. We have a pipeline of the top 20 of them. 3 out of 4 are waiting for our human trial results because they're a little bit risk averse in this sense. So they understand the value, but they want to see more data prior to engaging.
Right. All right. Thanks.
Thank you, Shahana. And please welcome here Mark Hamid.
What about the absorption compared to a needle? Have you done any studies? Because as you know, Novalox and some of this medication can be extremely costly.
Yep. We have done in vivo pig trials, and we have proven that the rate of glucose reduction for the pig with the delivery by our device and by needle subcutaneous injections are comparable. So we don't expect any loss of drug. In fact, when we take the patch out of the pig, you don't see anything. So the maximum loss is micro droplets, and they don't affect the reduction of glucose levels.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mark. And please, question from Leon.
My question is, first of all, hello, Eduardo. And my question is about, did you get 2.5 million from Horizon, like your company alone, or with some partnership trust?
With our company alone.
Company alone. That's very remarkable. Yeah, that's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, and second question, how do you expect your go-to-market time? I mean, how long time will it take? 2, 3, 5 years? When you will start to generate revenue?
So if we were going to the market on our own, it will be more around the 3 or 4 years, but our strategy is to go B2B. We are already engaging with those partners. They need to see human data prior to engaging, and we will have that human data in mid-2025. So that's when we expect to close the first commercial licenses and then follow the rest of the regulatory path together with those companies.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Leon. And Maybe anyone else want to ask? No. Okay. So thank you so much, Eduardo, for your great presentation and great answers. And see you at our second batch. But now, please welcome our last but not the least startup for our today's batch. Please welcome Native Words from the USA. Native Words took the first place at our FinTech, Crypto, and Blockchain Unicorn Battle. So please, July, we all ready to hear about your idea.
Yeah, so hi everyone, my name is July. I'm the co-founder and CEO of NettyWorth. NettyWorth is a Web3 platform that allows users to manage and borrow against their digital assets. Again, I'm a second-time founder with a YC alumni based out of the US, and we're backed by Acacia and Republic. So why did I start NettyWorth? As an early adopter and collector in the space, I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars, and I found it very challenging to calculate the value of my digital assets and NFTs. It was very difficult to browse through different platforms that had poor lending options. So this is the reason why I created NettyWorth. So the number one problem with Web3 is that basically, if we look at the Twitter post from All Shiny, is that Web3 isn't a fluid experience. 99% of users find it difficult to calculate their crypto and NFT value. Users are overwhelmed and need to visit multiple platforms, and they lack liquidity. So imagine a solution, a simple dashboard that calculates this value, one platform that aggregates these tools and provides access to liquidity. And this is what we built. Over the last 2 years, we bootstrapped, completely self-funded, basically $250,000 of our own money from the co-founders. And we built 3 versions, again, of the platform. We created the best NFT portfolio tracker that calculates the value in seconds, a mobile and desktop-ready platform with live news and data. We're expected to also launch our NFT marketplace by Q4 of this year. So our traction, again, this is completely live. We have over 3,500 users that are spending over 3 minutes on the platform, with 95% of them giving the platform a thumbs up over the last 2 months. 40% of these users are coming back to our platform. We have also a social media presence with over 28,000 followers and nearly 100,000 YouTube views. We've even generated $42,000 just from Web3 brands paying us to be on our platform, which is shocking. We never had it as a business model. So what's the testimonials? This is what users are saying about us. I love the platform. The value is impressive. The data is amazing. Can't wait to tell friends. Though I wish my value was higher, I felt it was super safe. I like the platform, could be a good tool for the future, and was extremely easy to use. So this is the team. Again, me and the co-founder are 2-time founders. Ivan, our CTO, was the former DevOps at BASF, one of the largest chemical companies in the world, and also my CTO in my first startup in 2008 that we actually had an exit. Our advisors, we have Pablo, who was part of Block Asset, and Juan, who is a YC alumni who just had an exit with MasterCard. So this is our market. The NFT lending market just hit $1 billion, and it's expected to reach $3.2 billion by 2028. Our revenue model is projected to basically earn nearly $500 million by 2028. And what's our business model? It's very simple. Our goal is to provide a platform where users come and provide financial solutions to them. Think of Mint.com or even Credit Karma. So let's look at an asset. Let's say the asset is 6,200. We provide a 25% loan to value. That means we're giving out $1,550 for that asset. On average, we're making $310 per loan. So now let's also look at the default rate. So this is where it's very special as far as like what we're offering. The default rate right now is 9.26, but because of our loan to value, we're still generating an enormous profit if anyone defaults. Again, this is going to be on the blockchain with a smart contract, putting us again at nearly $500 million in revenue. And our competition, Arcade, Metalink, NFTFi, and Floaty. These are the main players. Again, we have more features and more users. Why? Because we believe in creating a solution that users need and then providing the financial technology to help them. And why now? The United States NFT adoption is 3%. Imagine when it's 10. We understand that the global market reached 41 billion in the NFT marketplace. But most importantly, just like BlackRock and Goldman Sachs, who's saying that digital assets are going to outperform every other asset, and it is a financial instrument for the future, let's look at things like a Florida home in Texas being sold as an NFT and California testing card titles. So we do look at this as beyond just art, but more into collectible luxury assets and traditional assets converting into NFTs. And again, the ask, we ask you to join our partners and be part of the future of Web3 FinTech. Thank you.
Thank you so much, July. And it's my pleasure to welcome here Arash Rizai and his question.
Hi, how are you?
Good, good. Hi.
Good, man. Just a very, very important question. So I come from the financial background. I like that you've worked into the model the default value, which essentially takes into account the liquidation value of not being able to actually regain your loan value. But the very important question is, who does the audit? Now, the auditing of the actual asset, especially when you said that you're looking at Florida homes. So now you're actually moving into the tangible asset area where you're trying to sell it as an NFT digitized token. But who does the auditing on the true sale value versus the retail value on that?
Yeah, so very good question. So right now, our model is just looking at everything that's in the blockchain, but we do see a future where basically, physical items are going to present. But currently, the way we look at it is we look at the current floor price. So we have our own internal protocol. So we look at basically, think of the last sales, the liquidity, and then any offers on a collection. Right. So again, that same logic is going to end up happening into a physical item.
Okay, I get that. I grasp that. But you do need to look into the model that when the NFT is created, I could create an NFT and say it's worth $1,000, and your model works on giving me a loan of about 25%. You need to look at the audits of the true value of that NFT being at the $1,000. So you need to work around this audit of the real value of what you're lending against.
Correct. So that's why we look at liquidity. So you can't fake liquidity. For instance, on the blockchain, if I created an NFT and said, hey, it's $1 million, liquidity will show that that's not the actual floor price. There has to be a transaction history there to support it. So
correct. The retail and the sale price. All right.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, good. I grasp it. Okay, thanks a lot for that clarity.
Thank you, Arash. And
very good concept.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. And please welcome here Wan Farah Ahmad.
Hi, July. I have a question. I think you just answered it, but again, I wanted to know what are the factors and basis for valuation of the NFTs, number one. And I think you sort of answered it, but if you have any additional factors on which you can use on the valuation of the NFTs. The second one is that, the marketplace for the NFTs, what are the security measures that you're taking to make it, safe for the users? Last time there's some events that happened to some existing marketplace. So we don't want that to happen again, but just to share with us what are the measures that you're taking. Thank you.
Yeah. Again, just another great question. So so in order to basically put your asset on our platform, there's going to be a grace period. And the reason why we're creating a grace period is, let's say that NFT was stolen, we're allowing time for someone to report that, right? So if someone transacted on the NFT, let's say yesterday, they can't go on the platform and say, hey, I want to list it. The other question, as far as the valuation of the asset, let's look at the current market, right? So we're in a bear market. We look at a Bored Ape that was 100 ETH. We would have provided a 25 ETH loan to that collection. As the collection dropped because of the economic point of what's happening, that collection right now today is 45 ETH. right? So that means even at the 25%, 25 ETH loan, we're still generating, again, nearly 100% return on that investment. Because again, we're looking at multiple factors: the floor price, the liquidity, and very important, the offers on the collection. And that's why basically within our internal protocol, we're able to offer loans very differently. And again, what separates us is that users are coming to our platform to manage their asset. So again, think of it like Mint or Credit Karma, where you're coming in for something free, but we have the data as far as what crypto you own, what NFTs you own, and which valuable assets you also have in your wallet.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Vanfara, and your judges. Maybe anybody else want to ask something to July? No. Okay.
I was going to ask, but I was pipped by the first two. I think everyone these days is overly concerned about custody and valuation. So I was third, but my question was answered. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, John, for your question and suggestion. And Arash, yeah, please.
Okay, so my general gist, exactly like John essentially said, it's pretty much a digitized collateral-based loan system, working out the actual liquidity proven on the actual asset, and you would lend against that holding the collateral. That's pretty much the gist of it, correct?
Correct. Yeah, and the reason why we have more users is because of the value that the platform is offering to collectors. Mm-hmm.
Okay, got the whole concept. Like I said, I've been in finance for 30 years. You've pretty much you've done the collateral-based asset loan on a digital manner. Perfect, good concept.
Thank you.
Thank you, Arash, and thank you so much, July, for your time today and for your pitch deck. And now I guess we can finalize our first batch, and everybody did a great job. Started. Thank you so much. Looking forward to see you at our second batch. And now I will again welcome our Anna here.
Hi, Lydia, again. Yes, it was really exciting to hear startups pitching, and I once again realized that we have excellent judges, because they pick out of these startups that our analytics teams selects. They are incredible, but judges pick the best ones. Really, it was such a pleasure to hear them all. And dear judges, please look up at the event page. Make sure you're logged in under your profile, and please vote. The votes will be open whole day. I guess it will be European day, because in what is it? In 7 hours, we will be closing the votes after the second batch. Of course, it depends how long the second batch will take, but yes, since maybe in 8.5 hours. More correctly to say, the votes will be closed. So please make sure you voted for all the startups. Startups, please come on timely for the second batch. You did great, but you need to do it once again, also with your spirit and energy. And I wish you all good luck. We'll be closing the votes and announcing the winner at when our second batch will be over. And right now, I'm grateful to all the judges who came to the first batch. You're welcome to join us for the second. The links are the same. And I will see you all in 6 hours, 6.5 hours. It will be start of the competition. So I'll see you all in 6 hours. At our technical session, stay well, stay healthy, vote for the startups, speech great, everything will be fine. I'll see you very soon. And we'll go in on a video break to finalize the first batch. So can I have video, please? And see you all.
We'll just leave the marking for our CERN blank, I assume.